And that's how you do it. That is how you do it. If you want to conquer the fear, if you want to conquer the stress, the level of stress that Arsenal fans have had in the last 270 minutes of football. I'm talking about from the Carabao Cup final to being dumped out of the FA Cup by Southampton, then facing Sporting away from home in a Champions League quarterfinal that gives us the chance to be in a Champions League semi-final back to back for the first time in the entire history, more than 100 years history of Arsenal. That is how you do it. The antidote to losing, the antidote to regaining confidence is winning and scoring goals. And we got one. We got one from the much maligned Kai Havertz, who has had an injury ravaged season. But us just get an understanding of what went on in the game. It's the same slow, lethargic football that we've played maybe throughout the season. The difference now is the things that, and I'm trying to find the right word or phrase for this, the stuff that defines Arsenal this season, not any other iteration of Arsenal, not the Arsene Wenger Arsenal that passes the ball through the line, tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, and defensively fragile. This season's version of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, what defines us is our out of possession ability, one of the best in Europe. Our defensive resoluteness in Saliba, Gabriel Timber, in Cape Calafiori and the likes. The midfield that sits in front of that defense that prevent anything from getting through, which is Zubimendi and Rice. And then attack is our attack. We've struggled. We figure it out. That's what we've done throughout the season. But those things that differentiate us from most teams that gives us the edge are things that we haven't done particularly well in the last few weeks. We didn't press well against City. We couldn't play out from the back because we didn't have Raya, which is a big lesson learned from Mikel, which he didn't learn the lesson against Southampton in the FA Cup. Right? We played well, we dominated possession, but there's still this inability to create. We're able to create 1v1 in the wing areas constantly. You're seeing Madueke, especially Madueke in the first half, was constantly against his opposition fullback, constantly driving at him. Did he get a lot of success? Maybe 50-50, but most wingers don't get a lot of success when it comes to 1v1. If you get me 50% of your 1v1 duels and you're putting decent balls in the box, you've done a good job. I think Madueke had a decent game. David Raya, he made multiple save across the 90-minute game that they changed the course and direction of this game, making saves in key moments. In the first half, first 10 minutes, Ben White constantly getting beat by the fullback. Constantly. It's like they're playing to isolate Ben White against any fullback, and it just seems lost. I know lack of confidence, lack of reading, these are issues that we've had, and Ben White has been injury plagued the last 2 years at Arsenal, but we're going to need him to step up in the absence of Timber. So in the second half, he had a better game, but first half, he was lost at sea. But Raya came to the party. He made the saves in the first half. And we controlled the game after then, really, essentially. They're going to have chances. The Sporting Lisbon, a big team in the quarterfinal of Champions League, they're going to have some moments. They're going to have some. I wasn't too particularly perturbed with the areas of the pitch where we gave them the ball. We felt safe. Then second half, Martin Zubimendi got the ball in net. Fantastic finish. One of the smoothest finish you will see this season. Well, Gyökeres was offside during the layoff. I can't blame Gyökeres, but he could have done better. But it is what it is. But Odegaard, he has a lot of touches on the ball. You can even hear the commentators saying a lot of touches on the ball. But I can't have Rice covering in for Calafiori, doing all this defensive work. I can't have Zubimendi being extremely safe. It's almost like Zubimendi is even more safe on the ball than Rice these days. It's weird. I don't know what has changed in the last few months in terms of Zubimendi's game, but I haven't been impressed. But Odegaard, let Rice and Zubimendi do the not taking any risk. They're defensive midfielders or whatever kind of midfielders they are. Their job is to make sure we don't concede. You have to take the risk. You can't do the same thing on the pitch they do. You can't have, I don't know, Odegaard will probably have like 70, 80 touches. I haven't looked at the stats. You can't have all these touches and we are fueling the ball through you constantly and you don't take any chances. There's so many moments. Pass the ball. Don't pass back every time. The problem now is there is an imbalance in that ability for Odegaard to do what he needs to do what he is need to do what he is being paid to do, which is break the lines. You gotta try. You gotta create moments. Max Diamond came in, and I don't know if Odegaard is injured. Hopefully, he's not injured because he needs games and needs rhythm, especially with Eze not still being fully fit to play these games. Diamond came on, he gave some glimpses of this talent. You need to get the ball to him more in areas that he can do the damage. And Havertz got the goal. What a goal. Fantastic run from Martinelli through the midfield to create that 1v1. He caught in. And fantastic assist. That was not a Martinelli-esque assist. But Havertz, cool under pressure, got the ball under control, placed the ball to the bottom right corner, and 1-0 to the Arsenal in Lisbon. Exceptional, exceptional finish from Havertz. But we know what our season is. We got to go to the next game. Speaking of this game, we got the job done, right? We got the job done one way or the other. I hope this would improve the confidence of the players. I hope this would just imbue in them better confidence. I hope Saka is available for the weekend, because now we're flogging Madueke, who look like you can have the kind of knee injury that you have, and you're fully recovered and you're playing. It looks fit, but this there is this compound effect of playing players who are not fit, especially because the starters are also not fit, right? There's a compound effect of running right to the ground, um, not giving Christian Noga some games, right? Or running Timber to the ground, and Timber now is not fit, and now you have to play a White who, quote unquote, is fit, but he could be physically fit, but is he match fit? Does he have rhythm? Has he adjusted to the pace of the game? Does he have relationship on the field? Right? Timber and Saka played a lot of minutes this season. Right? White and Madueke barely any minutes. So there's a lack of rhythm, a lack of understanding when to overlap, when to underlap, when to pass the ball inside, when to pass the ball outside. Which Saka and White develop this telepathic understanding on that flank. So those are the kind of things that we need to figure out. We're managing in the moment, we're getting the job done, and that's all we need. Get the job done. We've suffered throughout the season. The football hasn't been the greatest, but we've gotten the job done. Now, these are particularly important moments that could define the next stage of this project. If you put big trophies on the table, I think we can attract better attackers. I think maybe Arteta is not the greatest coach when it comes to attacking players. Maybe we just need to get better caliber of attacking players in this setup and just do the job. Because if you have better players and we still play this way, we score more goals because we're already getting the goals. By the way, that's the synopsis of what happened today. If you like the content, subscribe, like the video, and come on, you guys. We made it. Stay safe, guys. Bye.